So one of the factors I don't think a lot of people consider when they're setting up a podcast space or a studio or space to create YouTube content is their lighting. And I think lighting really goes a long way. In fact, you can get a lot more out of your camera, even if you have a cheaper, lower end camera, which I've had for a long, long time, if you set up your lighting really well. So to maximize the quality of your content, maximize what your camera can capture, lighting is really important. And I really didn't intend to do this video today, but I've had so many questions recently from clients, new clients on the phone and in person, and even some questions I got on my channel about lighting that I thought I'd just sit down and do a quick kind of off the cuff video on how to set up your lighting with a couple of quick tips. So let's get into that right now. So a few quick tips on your lighting. That's what I want to share in this video. And as you can tell, my lighting is not nearly what it was just a second ago in the intro. And that's because I want to walk you through kind of my lighting process and my lighting setup so that you have a better idea of what it takes to get the lighting that I do that's not necessarily the way that you need to do it to set up your lighting, but I do want to offer a few quick tips on how to do that. First of all, you're going to want, probably if you can avoid it, to not have overhead lights. And I wear a hat a lot. And when I just use my overhead lights, you can see a lot of shadow on my face. Everything is really dark. And because I have a dark background and I wear a lot of black, I sometimes can look like a floating head in my videos if I don't have my lighting set up just right. So if you can avoid it, do not use just overhead lighting. Sit yourself in front of a window off to the side, or if you have the ability, if you don't have a window and you have the ability to set up a lamp or a light or something in front of you, a ring light that's something that's cheap, do that. If you have an opportunity to get something more like a softbox, which I'll show you here in this video, those would be ideal as well. With a softbox, with a light that you can dim, you really have a lot more control over how bright your light is, what color temperature light is. But that's really technical stuff that I don't really think we need to get into in this video. If you're interested in that, let me know in the comments and maybe we can do another video on some of that. But I want to give you just, again, some quick tips, whether you have big bright lights or a nice window or whatever you have. I want to share a couple things that are going to help you light your videos more professionally. This is the camera that I use when I'm filming my videos. It's kind of hidden behind a screen and a dark wall, but that's the camera. I have, I'll just walk you through this, a key light right here that is obviously not on. I just have the lights in the corner up in the room on. That's my key light. I have what you would call a fill light right here that fills in some of the gaps. And then I have some lights behind me that I'll show you here in just a second. So I'm going to turn on this light and turn off my overhead lights and show you just the difference that will make in your videos. Okay, so all is dark right now, and maybe you can see a little bit of my face that my phone is lighting up. I have all of my lights on a controller on my phone. So as I turn on my key light, boom, you can see my face now. And it's still very dark, but what a key light is going to do, if you have it set up the way I do, is going to light primarily a side of your face, and you're going to get a little bit of shadow. It's going to show a little bit of contour on your face. It's going to be much more flattering than having a light directly in front of you with no shadow on your face. A key light off to the side gives your face and your body a little bit of shape that's a little bit more flattering than something that's right overhead or directly in front of you. So if you have one light, or if you don't have a light, if you have a window, sit yourself in position in relation to the window so it's not behind you, first of all. That's terrible, because backlight, if it's only backlight, if the backlight's brighter than any other light, it's going to make you just kind of look like a silhouette. You don't want that. You want your face to be shown. So a key light at about a 45-degree angle, whether it's a window or an actual light or a lamp, is going to be your best bet. Now, if you have an opportunity, if you don't have a second light, maybe a big open bright room recording during the day is going to be the best option, or even a white piece of poster board to set up just off camera to your opposite side from where your key light is going to be, will actually serve as a fill light that I'll show you in a second to fill in the shadows a little bit on this side of your face. So let me turn on my fill light and I will show you what that looks like here. When I turn that on now, okay, so the fill light in front of me, also at a 45-degree angle from me, that's not quite as bright. And I'm sorry, I'm fumbling with my camera here to show you my key light. And then my fill light is a much smaller light, and it's a little bit less bright, quite a bit less bright actually, than this key light is, because what I need it to do is really just to fill in some of that shadow. I still want the shape, I still want the contour, and you will too, but you don't want it so dark so as to be incredibly dramatic in the video. So key light, fill light. I have a hair light. It's called a hair light. It's also called a, I don't know what else it's called. I'm blanking on the other term for it right now, but it's something that's going to be kind of light the back of you. So a little bit up above, behind, sometimes it's off to the side, and it's going to separate you from the background. And as I turn it on, you're going to see why it's called maybe a hair light. Ready? There it is. So the hair light is going to be right about here. It's going to light up my hair, make it look like highlighted a little bit along my shoulder line. You can see, and it separates me from the black shirts that I'm wearing from the black background in my video. So the hair light is going to kind of separate you and make you pop from the background. So key light, so fill light, hair light if you have the opportunity. And the other thing is just some practical lighting in the back. So a lot of times you'll see a nice lamp on the table, or maybe a light from the closet that's on, that's kind of casting a little bit of glow on the back wall, or something like, I don't know, these little cheap lights that I got from, I think, Five Below, come as a pack of 3 that actually should change color as you tap them. Sometimes even having these set up on a table behind you just makes the background look a little bit more interesting and works a little bit to highlight some things, but not too much, but keep you separate from the background. It really makes you stand out and makes you pop. And as a video content creator and the subject of your content, you want to be the thing that stands out. So anything you put in the background should, I would say, look nice, but be subtle enough to make you stand out and help you continue to be the focus of your own video. So practical lights like these, I have, in place of these types of practical lights, I have some other lights that I mounted to my ceiling just because I didn't have another place to put them, and I actually use them when I work because they shine down on my desk. So when I'm working back there, they're on, lighting up my desk. When I'm filming here, they're on, just kind of highlighting some things in the back, and again, separating my black shirt from the black background. So I'll turn those on now and give you a sense of the difference that those practical lights back there can make. Do you see the difference? And I even have the ability, because I have everything controlled by my phone, I can dim the lights, I can change the color of the lights, and I can do anything I need to. These aren't necessary lights that you need for your videos, but they're lights that I've played with, that I have put in place, I've collected over the years, and I've got my lighting set up the way I like it. I don't have a window in here, so having the studio lights, having the soft boxes are a necessity in my space, but all this stuff may not be a necessity in your space. So let's just kind of cover real quick, recap, review some of the things that we talked about in this video. Key light, position yourself at about a 45-degree angle from maybe it's a big bay window, a big bright window in your house that's going to cast some soft daylight on one side of your face and give you a little bit of contour and a little bit of shadow. If you have the opportunity and you have the ability to do so, a fill light works well to fill in some of those shadows, but not all of the shadows. You still want the shape and the contour. And if you don't have a light and you don't need to purchase a light, a white piece of poster board that's off camera will reflect enough light to kind of fill in those shadows. And if you can, you don't need it, especially if you film in daylight in a big room, that you don't need the hair light necessarily. But if you have a third light, a lot of lighting kits come with 3 lights. If you have a third light, set one up above, off to the side, off camera, shooting from an angle that's going to light up kind of the top back side of your head, put some light on your shoulders that just kind of outline you and make you pop from the background. And then, if you have the ability, put some practical lights back behind you. That's just an added bonus. So those are a couple quick tips that, again, I didn't intend to share today, but because I had everything out and I had enough questions, I thought I'd shoot a quick video to talk about these lighting tips. So I'd love to know if this is something that's beneficial to you, how you're going to change your light setup, or what you learned in this video, or maybe you have your own lighting tips. I'd love to know those as well. Let me know that in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.